Hello and welcome. This is my 2019 Nishiki Colorado Comp 27.5 Plus. I bought it for $370, 3 weeks ago I guess now. And I've been having more fun with this bike than the purchase price would ever have led me to believe. That said, it does need a couple of tweaks. I'm going to install a riser handlebar to give me a more upright riding position for my back, and I'm going to install a dropper post. Dropper posts on mountain bikes, believe me when I tell you, they are game changers. I decided to go with a 45mm wake stem. I've used these alloy stems many times in the past. I like them because they are affordable and pretty darn high quality. I also decided to go with a JG Bikes branded 780mm wide handlebar. It's alloy and it's got a 300mm rise. Taken together, this gives me a much more upright riding position, which is a lot easier on my back. The actual replacement of these parts is not particularly complicated, so I won't dwell on it a great deal. But basically what you need to do is remove everything from your existing handlebar. In my case, that's just grips, brake levers, and one shifter because it's a one-by system. Once you've got the handlebar cleared, it's simply a matter of loosening the top cap on the stem and then the pinch bolts, and the stem and the handlebar will slide right off as one unit. Saves a lot of messing around. Putting everything back together is not particularly difficult either. The one thing you want to do is make sure that you've got the proper number of spacers if you're changing brands of stem. In this instance, I'm replacing a wake stem with a wake stem, so my spacers are good. But when I replaced the stock stem with that blue one, I had to add one 5mm spacer because of the difference in height on the clamping surfaces. That said, it's pretty straightforward. Just slide your stem onto the fork tube and tighten the top cap first, then the pinch bolts, and that is how you prevent a loose fork. And installing the new handlebar, again, it's pretty straightforward. You just clamp it in where it belongs and then attach all your peripherals to it, and hey, you're good to go. Really, this is probably one of the easiest upgrades that there is. For the dropper post, I chose a TranzX Kitsuma. It's got 110mm of drop. Yeah, I would have liked something a little bit more, but supply chains being what they are, well, sometimes you have to take what you can find. It came with the cable and the trigger. Now, I mention that because that's not always true. If you're buying a dropper post, read the description and be certain that it either does or does not come with those accessories, because without them, well, obviously it's not going to do you any good, is it? Installation was really, really simple. You just remove your old seat post and saddle. Next, install the new dropper post into the seat tube. Make sure that you apply a thin coating of grease and that the seat post is installed to at least the minimum insertion depth. Next, attach the trigger and the barrel adjuster to your handlebar. You're going to be using this to help you determine the outer cable length. What you want to do is hold the cable in place and get a good idea of how long you need to run it back. In this instance, I'm going along some existing cable routing on my down tube and then just a short curve up into the dropper attachment point. And finally, you want to take the internal cable, run it through the barrel adjuster into the trigger, and secure it with the built-in set screw. Now, the location and appearance of this set screw may vary a little bit from brand to brand, but basically what you're doing is you are pinching that cable inside the trigger's lever. I tested it a couple of times to make sure that I liked the feel of it, and I did. And son of a gun, I now have a dropper post on my Colorado Comp. How about that? Seriously, a dropper post is an easy and worthwhile upgrade for any mountain bike. I cannot stress enough how much more I enjoy riding my mountain bikes when they have dropper posts. The ultimate test of any upgrade is how well it performs on the trail. So, here we are at the Split Rock Trail in the Bond Brook Recreation Area in Augusta, Maine. It is a beautiful fall afternoon. It rained a little earlier today, so the trail is slick with some clay and silt mud and more than a few wet leaves. I think those wet leaves have a coefficient of friction more or less equal to that of wet ice. So I'm not going quite as fast as I might have otherwise, but it's still fun. And oh my gosh, there's just something about autumn in the woods. I love the way it feels. I like the smell of the woods this time of the year. And of course, up here in New England, we get a distinct change in foliage. I love the colors. And yeah, I'm enjoying this bike ride. I really am. This is just a little bit of a couple hours worth of riding, but this trail is fun. And as with most trails, in my opinion, it's a lot more fun to ride down than it is to ride up. Be that as it may. The dropper post is working really well. I've been able to climb with a little more efficiency because I'm not stuck in that compromise setting that I had with the static seat post. And I really do like these 780s. Back when I started moving towards wider bars, I was a little skeptical, but now I really do enjoy them. You really do get a lot more leverage on the bars through these things. It's pretty amazing. And the riser on the bar combined with the shorter stem gives me that upright riding position that I'm looking for, because as I've said elsewhere, I do have some back issues, and the upright riding position really helps. And yeah, this is a great bike for $370. I hope that you found this video to be both fun and useful, and if you did, please leave me a thumbs up. It does help the channel. Below left is a link to a playlist for the Colorado Comp. Below right is a link to another video that I think you'll enjoy. And as always, thanks very much for watching. I really do appreciate that. Goodbye and have a great day.